Every time I come out here, Vinny's doing a job and you're holding his hand.
Me and him split everything. We started yesterday.
Get your hands dirty for a change.
People think they know Paul Jr. because they watch him on TV. Loud arguments, courtrooms, cameras catching every eye roll and slam door. But what we saw was never the full picture. It was edited chaos, and real life was happening quietly in the background. After nearly 2 years of trying to start a family in New York, something finally changed. Not where you'd expect. It happened during a short trip to Nashville. That's where Hudson was born. And that moment flipped a switch in Paul Jr. that no camera ever captured. Holding his son did something to him. It slowed him down. It forced him to look backward instead of always pushing forward. Suddenly, all those years of silence between him and his father didn't feel abstract anymore. They felt heavy, personal, painful in a new way. For the first time, Paul Jr. understood what it meant to be a dad. And with that came an uncomfortable realization. He began to see how much it must have hurt his own father to watch him walk away. Not just from the shop, from the relationship. Somewhere between lawsuits and public meltdowns, something else was happening. Quietly, Paul Jr. was changing. Healing, even if he didn't call it that yet. He started reflecting more. Slowing down, asking questions he'd avoided for years, especially about faith. In interviews later on, he admitted he wasn't proud of how he'd been living, not even in his relationship with Rachel. Then came a spiritual retreat, one of those moments that sounds small from the outside, but hits like a brick when you're in it. After that, they made a decision most people didn't expect. No intimacy until marriage. It wasn't easy. He never pretended it was, but it mattered to them. And that mattered more. Eventually, he proposed. And when they married, that faith didn't fade into the background. It became a foundation, something steady in a life that had been anything but. Paul Jr. started talking about it publicly. Not preaching, just sharing, opening up about mistakes, about rebuilding, about finding direction after years of noise. And in that process, something else happened. He found the courage to look back at the man he couldn't even speak to for years. Not just for himself, for Hudson, because every time he looked at his son, he saw the cost of staying silent. And that's when the real healing began. The battles between Paul Teutul Sr. and Paul Jr. were never really about motorcycles. Bikes were just a battlefield. What they were fighting over ran much deeper. Control, respect, pride, hurt feelings that never had time to cool down. What started as a family business turned into one of the most brutal rivalries reality TV had ever aired. Millions tuned in, thinking they were watching custom bikes being built. What they were really watching was a father and son tearing each other apart in real time. Their biggest showdown came in 2011, a televised build-off. One shop, two very different visions. Senior did what he always did. Loud, aggressive, pure muscle and metal. Junior went another direction. He built a bike inspired by AP-51 Mustang fighter plane. Sleek, thoughtful, emotional. That bike didn't just run. It spoke. It was clear by then. Paul Jr. wasn't just building machines. He was building statements. And he kept winning. From 2010 to 2016, they faced off multiple times. Junior won 5 out of 7. Each win said the same thing. He wasn't just the kid who worked for his dad. He was his own force. When Junior left Orange County Choppers in 2009, most people thought he'd disappear. A one-year non-compete hung over him. The economy was rough. The odds weren't great. Instead of folding, he pivoted. He teamed up with Coleman, designed a grill. It sounds random, but saved him. That deal led to more. Product pitches, dog toys, even a public dog park. By 2012, his brand was outperforming his father's. His clothing line made more money. His designs landed in major corporate campaigns. Blizzard, Paramount, big names. He wasn't just building bikes anymore. He was building a business, a real one. But even the coldest feuds crack eventually. In December 2011, Paul Jr.'s grandmother and Senior's mother, Helen Teutul, passed away. And grief has a way of cutting through pride. Junior picked up the phone. After nearly 2 years of silence, they spoke. Not for long, just enough. He told his dad she loved him, said he was sorry for his loss. Senior didn't know what to say. He later admitted he wished it had been in person, but something shifted. Beneath the anger, there was grief, and maybe regret. It didn't fix everything, but it was real. What came next wasn't healing, at least not at first. It was business. The 2018 reunion between Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. wasn't born out of forgiveness. It was pushed by TV producers who saw an opportunity. Old drama, big ratings, easy sell. They hadn't spoken in nearly 10 years. After the explosive fallout in 2009, the silence was deep. When Discovery Channel pitched the reunion, it wasn't about fixing a family. It was about fixing a motorcycle. They chose the Yankees-themed chopper from 2005, a bike with history, one that had been sold and later mysteriously destroyed. Some even whispered about insurance damage. That wreck gave the network the perfect excuse. Behind the scenes, everything was controlled. Separate schedules, strict rules, backup plans in case things exploded. Senior said they were older now, wiser. Nobody really believed that. 2 years later came what was supposed to be closure. A 2-hour special. The last ride. It didn't go the way fans hoped. The bike was patriotic, commissioned by ABC Supply, supposed to represent respect, family, unity, but from day one, the tension was thick. Senior brushed off Junior's ideas. Same old patterns, same dismissiveness. Crew members felt it. And all of it happened while the original OC shop was literally being torn down in the background. There were moments, though, quiet ones. Junior later said the only times he felt good were when they worked side by side, without cameras. No jitting, no audience, just building, like old times. Briefly, when the bike was finished, Senior admitted something shocking. He said he hadn't wanted to do it, that it didn't help their relationship. Fans were furious. Hashtags trended. People called out Senior's coldness. The reunion, everyone waited for left a worse taste than before. And the truth is, they're not close now. Not even a little. As of 2025, they live separate lives. The only time they talk is when contracts force it. From 2018 to 2023, they worked on a few projects together, but insiders say it was all for the cameras. Junior confirmed recently that they haven't shared a holiday meal in over 15 years. Not even after Hudson was born. Their businesses reflect the split too. Senior still runs Orange County Choppers. Junior built Paul Jr. Designs into a $14 million brand with licensing and apparel deals. Both men seem to agree on one thing. Working together destroyed their relationship, and neither wants to repeat that mistake. They exist in the same spotlight, just not the same world. Now, Junior is ready to talk. In February 2025, he announced a new memoir, given the opportunity, set for release in October. This one isn't polished. It isn't TV-friendly. Insiders say it's raw, brutally honest. It's expected to reveal moments cut from American Chopper, including a 2008 fight that nearly turned physical. His first book focused on career and faith. This one goes deeper. Alcoholism, family damage, the stuff everyone avoided naming out loud. Junior says he's done hiding. He believes telling the truth might help others who grew up inside broken family dynamics. People who learned early that love and conflict can exist in the same room. This story was never really about motorcycles. It was about fathers and sons, about pride that calcifies into silence, about what happens when work replaces communication. Paul Jr.'s journey didn't end with reconciliation. It ended with understanding. And sometimes, that's the most realistic ending there is. Not a hug, not a reunion montage, just clarity. And maybe that's the lesson. Healing doesn't always look like forgiveness. Sometimes it looks like boundaries, like choosing peace over proximity. Paul Jr. didn't get the father he wanted. Paul Sr. didn't get the son he expected. But both got something else. The truth. And for a family that lived so long inside noise, that might be the quietest victory of all.